Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about when to finally quit on your ex. So in my personal opinion, the time you should quit on getting your ex back, on things working out with your ex, is sadly the moment the breakup happens, right? You should really give up on your ex the moment the breakup happens, especially if they were the one that dumped you, if they were the one that ended things, okay? So if they were the one that ended things, then you need to start moving on. Now, I'm not saying that you can move on instantly and you can get over it instantly, because you won't, especially if this was someone that you really loved and you didn't want the breakup to happen. Okay, you got to admit to yourself and accept that this kind of situation is awful and it sucks. But ultimately, you need to, first of all, not get into a rebound relationship. Don't quickly start downloading those dating apps as soon as it happens. That's not what I mean by moving on, right? You got to move on by, realizing, accepting that your ex is not going to come back. You need to just go straight into no contact, basically, where you vow to yourself that you're not going to beg, you're not going to plead, you're not going to try and make things work with them. Because if they dumped you, then it has to be their idea to come back. It has to be them initiating things. It has to be them saying, sorry, they may say something like, I made a mistake, I shouldn't have broke up with you, I was being a bit too rash, I was being a bit too harsh. They have to do that. You don't have to do anything. If someone breaks up with you, you just accept it and move on, okay? And by moving on, right, you need to be, of course, first of all, accepting that, you need time. Secondly, you should be, doing things that are good for you rather than destructive. So, when people go through a breakup, usually they start doing destructive things, like they drink too much, they eat too much, they don't move enough, they watch Netflix all day, just wallow in their self-pity, basically. But you want to do things that build you up, that make you feel proud of yourself. So, there's a quote that I have with me, like, pretty much all the time. Inaction breeds fear and doubt, and taking action breeds confidence and courage. So if you want to become more confident, if you want to have more confidence in your life, if you want to have a higher self-esteem, you need to be taking action on the things that make you feel proud of yourself, that make you feel good about yourself, right? Not the opposite. Okay, because sometimes it can feel really good to, like, go out and party, and or to eat something that's really, really bad for you. You want it, you get the desire for it, but afterwards you feel awful, right? And I don't know about you, but I've definitely had those experiences where I've eaten something which I thought, at the time was going to be really good, and it felt good eating it, and then, like, the next day I feel awful. And the same is with when you drink too much and stuff like that, right? You want to be doing things that make you feel good about yourself, that you're not going to regret, okay? So, you want to figure out, where you would like to be in 5 years, or maybe even 10 years time. And, trying to figure out what you need to do daily, or at least from Monday to Friday, that can help you get to that place, right? So if you want to have a fit and healthy body and you want to look, really buff, or you want to look really trim, whatever it may be, then you need to figure out what you need to do to get you to that point, and keep on working at it, and don't procrastinate on it. Because if you are just sitting around thinking about your ex, worrying about your ex, wondering if they're going to come back or not, that's just making you more fearful, more doubtful in yourself. It's making you feel more insecure. But if you take action on your goals, on your dreams, that's what's really going to help you feel more confident in yourself and make you feel good about yourself. So do something today, if you can, to make you feel good about yourself. Even if you just go out and run for 2 miles, or you do an exercise workout on YouTube or something. Just do something today that makes you feel proud of yourself, so you can start to build up your self-esteem. Because when you get dumped, it makes you feel awful about yourself. It makes you feel like, oh, what's wrong with me? Is it because I'm ugly? You think, oh, is it because I'm just not good enough? Or is it because of something I said or something I did? And the truth is, unless your ex told you what happened, you don't really know why they broke up with you. But you got to see it as a good thing. You got to see it as something that's going to help you and benefit you, right? Because when people, there's 2 types of people, basically. They either let a breakup destroy them, right? By that I mean they do things that are really destructive to themselves. They drink too much, they eat too much, or they go into a rebound relationship thinking that's going to solve things. Or there's the other person who sees it as, okay, this is a bit of a wake-up call for me. Perhaps there are some things I need to learn about relationships so I can make them work in the future. Perhaps this was just an incompatibility thing. Maybe it's a good thing that this breakup has happened. So now I can learn some new things. I can evolve and develop and become better so this sort of thing doesn't happen again. Or maybe I learn about who, the right person to pick, because it may be that that person wasn't good for you anyway and they were mean to you or horrible to you. Like, I don't know your specific situation, but it could be that this is the best thing that could happen to you, because now you can look, when you go back into dating eventually, you'll be able to look for the signs, like, what kind of person do I want? Is this person behaving too much like my past ex, right? Now I know to avoid that person. So it kind of opens up your a whole new world for you, and you start to see all these different opportunities, and it's a really good thing. It sucks in the moment when it happens and it hurts and you feel rejected, you feel like there's something wrong with you, but ultimately there's nothing actually wrong with you, right? There may be a few things that you need to learn and to grow from so this sort of thing doesn't happen again, but that's all that it is, right? It's like, a failure or not being successful at something, or it only means that you failed or you didn't succeed that one time. So you didn't succeed at this relationship, right? It doesn't mean that it's always going to be that way, right? You just got to get back on the horse and start going and start building yourself up and becoming stronger mentally, and you will eventually, when you start dating again, you'll find someone better, especially if you fill in your knowledge gaps when it comes to the things that perhaps you weren't aware of when you were dating with this person who is now your ex, or when you got into a relationship. Like, perhaps there were a few things that you did that could have resulted in the end of the relationship. But of course, it takes two to tango, so don't put all the blame on yourself. But sometimes it's good and it's really mature to look back on what you personally did in that relationship, that you feel like, okay, I need to work on that. And then you work on it. You figure out, you learn something about it. It could be picking up a book, or it could be reading a few articles. It could be watching some videos on YouTube, right, about certain things that you need to get better at when it comes to relationships, right? So this thing doesn't happen again. You have to give yourself the proper time to heal and repair. Now, I always tell people that you need a minimum 6 months before you start getting into something else with someone, before you start downloading those dating apps. Give yourself 6 months, half a year, and then maybe if you feel better and you don't feel as emotional about your ex, then you can start finding someone else. Because at this current time, if the breakup happened not that long ago, or you're still in that headspace where it feels, affects your mood every single day, what happened with your ex, and it probably is if you're watching something like this, then you need time, okay? You need to give yourself time for those feelings to become less intense. Because if you go into a new relationship with, really strong, intense feelings still for your ex, it's not going to be very good, okay? Right? Because basically you're just going into a rebound at that stage, okay? You need some time to get over it. Now, if it's been a really long relationship, let's say you were together for years, then you probably need about a year or a year and a half to get over that. But if it was just something that was just a few months or a year, then give yourself at least 6 months, okay? Because, essentially, if you want them back, they'll either come back or they won't. That's where you got to understand. Like, if this person loves me, if your ex really does love you, and perhaps they have made a mistake, like a genuine mistake doing this and breaking up with you, then they're either going to come back or they're not. So if they love you and they care about you, they'll come back. But if they don't, you will just never hear from them again. But the point is that you don't want to be waiting by the phone. You don't want to be waiting, hoping to get a notification from them, hoping to get a phone call from them, because you simply just do not know if that's ever going to happen. So don't wait by the phone. Don't wait around. Take action on things that will make you feel good about yourself, okay? You want to build yourself up because you've had a knock, right? And being broken up with, being dumped is a huge knock to your self-esteem and your confidence. So you need to build that back up again. Work out, exercise, tackle your goals, Figure out where you want to be in 5 years. Would you like your own business? Would you like to write a book? Would you like to be promoted in your current job? Figure out what you want, right? And then take steps every single day to get yourself there, so you start to build up your confidence and you start to feel better about yourself again. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.